The Republican Party has been moving towards this for a couple of weeks now, slowly for a couple of months. Liz Cheney is now out of Republican leadership. And they did it in the bravest of fashions with a voice vote, therefore avoiding recording actual votes. So they voted against Liz Cheney without even going on the record as who was voting against her. And by the way, we're gonna get eventually to her speech, but they didn't even hear that because all but one walked out of the chamber before her final address. So we've got some more context on this, JR, but they did it. They voted her out.
They did it. I mean, it was, we saw it coming. We, since last week when the coronation for the new, by the way, hasn't happened yet, but at least Stefanik's supposed to be taking her spot. So this has all been we've seen it coming. We used to know when or exactly how quickly this would happen. It was supposed to be at some point this week. So of course they got rid of her today, as expected, for telling the truth about one thing. Because this is the thing, we're getting a lot of people like, oh, you guys are defending Liz Cheney. Not a lot of people, a couple that I don't even think are really being genuine in that point. You're defending Liz Cheney. I don't think anyone is defending anything Liz Cheney has said and voted on that has been perfectly in lockstep with Donald Trump. That's part of the craziness of this. Is she is a Trump-style Republican as far as policy and things like that. It's just not on who won that election. That is the one thing. And by the way, they're not going after her on anything else. Just that. Let's keep it real on all these things.
That's
so this is about one issue.
One issue, or one not even issue. Well, one core psychological issue with Republicans. That's what this is based on. It is an issue policy or an issue problem. So look, she has been knocked out. This process began months ago, though. Back in February, you might recall the House GOP batted down an initial effort to take her out of that role for the same reason, for saying that Trump didn't win the election and the election wasn't stolen. She survived that easily in a closed-door secret ballot vote of 145 to 61. Her views have not changed since then, but she has been more vocal about it. And so, despite the fact that we are months out from Trump's election loss, from him presiding over Georgia flipping to the Democrats, the Capitol attack, they initially were like, well, no, we're not gonna get rid of Liz Cheney just because she pointed out that he lost. Add a couple of months, and that was enough, actually. They have done some lack of soul searching, and they have decided this is who we are, this is who we're gonna be. And it's not just Liz Cheney. At the national and state level, Republicans who've challenged Trump on the big lie, ranging from Mitt Romney, who was shouted down as a traitor and booed, all the way down to a member of the Michigan State Board of Canvassers have been formally punished, publicly rebuked, stripped of their powers. Raffensperger in Georgia was literally stripped of his powers for presiding over a legitimate election because they didn't like the result of it. This is, by the way, and we've pointed this out before, we'll point it out again, this is cancel culture, if anything is cancel culture. They said and believe things that are politically incorrect from the point of view of these insane Republicans, and so they must be stripped of their positions. And most Republicans won't acknowledge this, but a few have. Senator Joni Ernst said, I feel it's okay to go ahead and express what you feel is right to express. And cancel culture is cancel culture no matter how you look at it. Unfortunately, I think there are those that are trying to silence others in the party. And they have, and they will continue to. What Republican, JR, would point out that Trump got destroyed in the election? Who would actually say that now? Because they know that they would lose their position.
Well, the ones that are ready to retire, and the ones that are preparing to leave, because that's the way it works. You can't, and this isn't nothing but a bigger illustration of that. If you're not on board with telling the lie, you should be ready to leave or be ready to be kicked out. It's just the way it works. Justin Amash did it months ago, last year. He's an independent now, partially, not even necessarily on of course, not the election stuff, because he was talking about Trump's lies and things he was doing while he was still in office. It's just the nature of the party. Now, from February, it's just that 2-month difference, 3-month difference now. Of that has been, now there's been time for folks, specifically conservatives, Republicans, to forget somewhat or ease their minds about what happened on January 6th so they feel more comfortable, because February is a little bit too soon. And number two, it's the chance for Donald Trump to jump in and inject his brainless, not even tweets, his brainless statements now about what he thinks should happen and endorse who he wants and talk bad about the people he doesn't want there. So that allows then the minion style Republicans who are only interested in power, which I'm sorry, all politicians are, only interested in power. They're thinking, I need to raise my hand and here, pick me, pick me, pick me. That's why people like this, I don't know, this canvasser was kicked out. They're hoping Donald Trump catches wind of their insanity and goes, I like that guy too. Oh, I like her too. Yeah. Crazies. We need to shout louder that you're crazy in order to get my attention. And that's all that's been happening ever since.
Yeah. Probably less likely to catch wind than pass it, but yeah, he'll be around. But like so much has changed over the last few months. What has Trump been doing? Like, is there renewed proof that Trump is a dynamo that's gonna take the Republican Party back? No, actually the exact opposite of that.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.